Now on BBC One, Savour the Company, which has been entertaining us these past Friday nights. That of Terry Wogan.
It's Friday night. It's Friday night. It's Friday.
Welcome one, welcome all to another bouquet of badinage, persiflage and camouflage. Malcolm X opened tonight. The story of a black revolutionary who wins the pools but doesn't want any publicity. But enough of this Barry Norman-style flim-flam. After half a year at this old malarkey, the word has come down from on high. This is not a yop scheme. Get some class on as a co-host. Can't say we didn't try. Princess Diana missed the night bus back from Nepal. Geoffrey Archer's such a shy, retiring soul. So we're left with no choice but to call on the son of Brom himself, fresh from the afternoon shift at Smethwick's cod-slitting sheds, Frank Skinner. And you think it's easy to say Smethwick's cod-slitting sheds?
What are Smethwick's cod-slitting sheds, we ask ourselves?
We always think of you as being there. Because there's always that indefinable whiff.
Thanks
when you
for
come
that.
on.
Thank you. It's the kipper tie.
Yeah.
What a tie. Do you like this tie? I bought this. I must tell you, I'm very excited. Do I look over?
You do look a little bit,
wobbly.
sort of.
I've just been, for the first time in my life, to America, right? I went over to Los Angeles. You've been there, obviously.
We call it Los Angeles.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, I'll call it that from now on.
Yeah.
And I went over to Los, and it was when I first got there, it was very odd because I went to the hotel. It was quite a flashy place, and I put the telly on, and you know you hear a lot about violence in America. This is absolutely true. I put up the local news was on. Now, local news where I come from tends to be, good evening, a chip shop in Wolverhampton opened a bit late today. And that's it, right? But it was really big time, and this bloke come on and went, hi, I'm Brent Brandt, and welcome to the DDDJWXYZ News. And then I thought, this is going to be good stuff. And I do not make this up. The first three stories, he said, hey, 5 heads were found in the back of a taxi in Los Angeles today. And I thought, I'm going home now, right? And the last story, by this time I'm terrified, the last story was a woman who had killed her husband and cut him into 93 pieces, right? And always get to laugh. And the judge, honestly, the judge said to her, why did you do this? And she said, well, I wanted to make sure he was dead. And so I got a bit worried, but this is all true, I got in a cab, and this cab driver in Los, I was asking him about the street gangs, which are notoriously violent and stuff. And he said, oh, yeah, those street gangs, what they do is they kill people and sell very serious drugs. But hell, we were all young once. I think it's brilliant.
You feel wanted in it?
Yeah, I had a fantastic time. I went down to Hollywood, right, because you've got to go to Hollywood, and I went to Hollywood Boulevard. You know this bit where people leave bits of themselves on the pavement? Or Rin Tin Tin did, anyway. Yeah. Hey! No, the bit where people press themselves in the cement, right? You can see Clark Gable's feet marks and Betty Grable's legs and all that sort of stuff. Whatever you're famous for, you put that bit in the cement, right? Yeah. They had to throw a bucket of water over Warren Beatty, apparently. I don't know if that's true. But the person I went to see was a bit of a big-time star, and I went to see Robin Williams. Right, you know Robin Williams? Yeah. And I took a bit of a home movie, so let's have a look, shall we?
Oh, yes,
let's have a look. Oh, what a place, eh? Hey, Frankie goes to Hollywood.
Relax, don't do it when you want to go to it. Relax, don't do it when you want to come. Relax, don't do it when you want to suck it to it. Relax.
I'm here to interview one of Hollywood's brightest stars, Robin Williams. God, what a funny man. I really love it, right, when he goes, no, no. Sorry? No, Robin Williams. Don't be me.
Lunch, anyone? I'm in the mood for smoked chicken. How about you?
Robin, I saw Toys yesterday. We all got taken off to the...
That's great.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. You know, it's like Toys in the Hood. Hold on
It's
one minute.
fantastic, isn't it? It's not often I get a chance to dance for someone's jacket.
Get down. There we go. I'll turn it off.
Toys, the film.
Yes,
I
sir.
loved it, I'm very happy to say.
Oh, God bless you, sir.
It was great. And what I was wondering, this is sort of practical things. I'm a complete Hollywood virgin, and not many people can say that.
We'll be gentle then.
Yeah. How do you actually choose the film that you're going to do? I mean, I've got an image of you sitting with 200 piles of scripts all over your house and you sorting it
That'd be
through.
wonderful. One time, like when I read Awakenings on a plane, a woman thought I was having a nervous breakdown because it was...
Yeah, well, I cried at Awakenings.
Yeah, the same thing. You find yourself... If you're moved, when you read it, it'll be the same way when you see it on camera.
But I cried at Toys as well, which amazed me, because I cried at 2 broken plastic teddy bears going round
Yeah,
each
see,
other.
but
And I
that's-
thought, it was very tragic, that bit, I must admit. The bit in the film that suggests that kids shouldn't be playing with war toys, they shouldn't be playing video games when they blow planes out the sky.
No, it isn't. I don't think it's that. It goes way beyond that. It's about the loss of innocence, you know? It's about taking away the innocence of a child really early. It's hard now to find a kid, at even 5, who isn't pretty cynical, you know, even a little bit cynical. Can I pay, General?
Yes, perhaps I will. The deviled eggs look good.
Don't they? Oh, it's a quick egg, isn't it? Oh, look at that egg scramble. Getting a little egg-sided. Talk about fresh. These are huge. These eggs are vacuum very... Maybe they really are deviled eggs. Look at that. They're possessed. Huevo de diablo. Save yourself. Get away from here. You must go from here. Quickly, get some toothpicks. Make a cross. Don't you see what's happening? Suck my yellow. Quick, save yourselves from these appetizers from hell. Quick, run. Tell the village. Oh, look at that. Stand back. It's going to split. I can't control myself any longer.
How do you do that?
Magnets.
I've got to ask you this. This might well be bad research on my part, but I've read that you were born in Edinburgh.
Oh, man. I know what happened. Years and years and years and years ago, I did this interview with this guy, and I was playing. And I think I was just doing a character. And I mentioned something. I was born there, I was natural childbirth out there on the moors. And I think the guy went, oh, right, he's born in Edinburgh. He was born in Edinburgh.
And the legend lives on.
Raised by 2 sheep, that was a thing.
So I read about Mork and Mindy, which I think is the first thing that brought you to attention in England, certainly. I remember me and all my mates were sitting in the pub going nano and all that stuff every night.
Did you ever do Mindy?
Yeah. Which I all regret now, obviously. But I remember reading somewhere that the script of Mork and Mindy had got sections that said things like, Robin does his own thing. Is that true?
Because they used to come and watch my act and literally write scripts around what they'd seen me do. I used to do a thing like talking about, when I bombed one night, I said, I'm dying. Why don't you come inside and find what it's like? Come on in. And then they wrote a whole episode around that because it was a piece from my act. And then they used to come and watch, you know, either characters or something, and then, you know, start infusing that into the show.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like when in England, I mean, I knew all those guys. I came to I think it was a comedy store about 12, 15 years ago. And now they've been
Your
rating.
picture is still on the
I
wall,
know,
in
yeah.
fact. Yeah. We all have to remove our hats as we walk
Please,
past.
take your hat off as you pass Robin's altar, please. Worship me, worship me.
Oh, well, it's back home to England now. I think I'll hold on to the red bowler, though. I've got quite attached to it. They tell me all the best people in Hollywood are wearing them. Stanley? What do you think?
Yeah,
Is it
good.
me?
I think it's you.
I look like a swan vestas when I'm on the beach. Got me clothes off. I tell you. Look, I bought you a present, Terry, because I know how
For
to get
me?
on in this business.
A present for me.
They're house slippers,
Yeah.
right? But they're house slippers for people who have to get up in the night. I don't know if you get up in the night.
I get up,
What
yeah,
happens to
more
the
or less
best
in
of
the
us.
night,
But
yeah.
see what you do when you get up. Hey,
Fantastic.
And of
Wonderful.
course, if you don't want to
How
get up at
thoughtful.
all in the night, you can always use this. I don't care. So,
Frank?
wear them with pride, Terry.
I'll wear them and always think of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Frank.
I'll switch them off first. We don't want the batteries to
No,
run
go
down.
ahead, no, no. Right. I'll be able to see
They
the
attract
chickens.
moths, unfortunately, but still.
Never mind. Frank, thank you. Now, one of the more commonly heard whinges around is, oh, they're terrible about the British film industry. Truth is, we never really had a British film industry, unless you count Ealing and the Rank Charm School. What we have had are great directors, technicians, writers, and of course actors who've headed out for the Hollywood Hills and made a name for themselves and a few bucks. My next guest is one of the more unlikely thespians to have done just that, ending up with her own sitcom on American television. She's also had her moments over here as well.
Heil Hitler! Heil Hitler, Schmittler already. Why can't you be nice to that Mr. Goldstein next door?
Well, Claire, my problem is, it's my thingy.
Look, my lovey, I've handled hundreds of problems such as yours. Lily Latimer. Pretty name.
That's why I chose it.
Chair? You have chairs in your house?
Oh, yes.
Wicked child! Chairs are an invention of Satan! In our house, Nathaniel sits on a spike.
Welcome, Miriam Margolyes. Maria, let me push you in. There you go. Now, you've actually, Frank is still talking about LA, and you've actually settled there.
I have settled. Yes, I feel very comfortable.
Are you a true Californian now?
No, of course not. Don't be silly. I mean, you know, one is just oneself. You don't want to be any different. And I like being there because I earn a lot of money and I meet a lot of famous people and there's chicken soup all the time and matzo balls and things like that.
You don't feel resentful that the opportunities offered you there were never offered you here?
Resentful? No.
Yeah, kind of.
Look, I'm nearly 52. Honestly, I don't
You've lied
look
about
it,
your
do I?
age to me in the past.
No, I'm 12 stone and I'm 52, and I'm very lucky to be earning and having a good time in California.
Well, the Americans
anywhere.
obviously have taken to you, haven't they?
Yes, I think so. And I to them. I mean, you know, I haven't slept with anybody, but I've had a lovely time.
Yeah, you say that.
Yeah,
That's
easy
true.
to say.
Why should I tell you anyway?
No, well, this you're supposed to reveal all in this kind of context.
Oh,
you know?
wait a bit, love. Wait a bit.
But how do the Americans take to your rather forthright mode of expression?
The first time I met everybody, you know, I wanted them to like me and I wanted to get on with them. And I said to the crew when we were introduced, I said, I really am grateful for the chance to work with you, and I want to give you a present. I want to give all of you a present. And the best present that I can give you is to show you my breasts. And so I took... Well, don't you think that was a good present?
That's a hell of a present.
That's a damn good present, I'm telling you. So I took off my brassiere, and they were thrilled. You know, it was just...
You wouldn't be good enough to do that for us.
You don't want to see those tired old tits again.
No, but I know you've been standing out in the cold breeze. I know that.
Oh, my God.
And it was called Fanny's Turn.
Franny's turn. Don't forget the R.
Oh, Franny's Turn. Oh, I see. Well,
Yeah.
Franny's Turn. That sort of ruins it now. That's kind of ruined it.
because they don't turn, do they?
No.
But in America, they don't care, do they?
Oh, yes, they do.
They do. They care
are,
more than here.
Exactly. I mean, like, I was on the Johnny Carson show and the Jay Leno show, and you have to be really, really careful not to say naughty words. I mean, I said bowel movement, for instance.
Good Lord.
I know, well...
Well, you went too far.
I went too far.
You've gone too far for this show.
I might have done. No, it was in the context.
You
know, it
didn't say,
wasn't
I'm
out
going to
of-
give you a present. It's a bowel movement.
Isn't it, when you do a talk show on American television, is the approach different than this? Have you got more time or less time, or are you expected to come out and deliver immediately or get off?
I think it is basically the same, except that there's much more hanging on it. You know, I mean, whether I'm good on this show or not it's not going to affect my career. Do you know what I mean?
Nor indeed mine, because the last show of the series.
I was thinking that.
Yeah.
But if you go on the Carson show or the Leno show, everybody's kind of judging you and giving you marks out of 10 and that sort of thing, and it becomes very tense and nerve-wracking. Whereas I feel that here I'm with someone that I like, and I do like. You know, Terry is a very nice person. Frank I'll get to know after the show.
You won't like him.
I'm looking forward to that.
And it's really...
Do I get to unwrap my own present?
No, but you may be called upon to take your shirt off. And what about this, The Queen and I, which you've had an enormous success with?
Well, that was just extraordinary.
radio.
I couldn't believe it. I was asked to do Sue Townsend's book on radio and play the royal family and do the story. And they flew over to Santa Monica, and I recorded it in a studio there, and it was just amazing. It sold over 50,000 copies
It's been
here,
an extraordinary success.
and I'm so thrilled.
And are you still doing
And all
Dickens
the poor
Women?
people in it have got Birmingham accents, I noticed that.
What did you think of the accents, actually?
I thought the accent was
they all
incredible.
right?
It's one of the most accurate Birmingham accents I've ever heard done, apart from people from Birmingham.
Really?
And who's your
It's very
favourite?
good.
Who's your favourite voice?
Well,
Margaret
I think
or the
it's
Queen?
I think it's Princess Margaret, because she's rightfully like that, you know. I mean, she's sort of... I don't know whether it's because she's sort of... well, slightly sort of... So
What about
I'm
Dickens Women? Are you still doing your
Yes.
one-man, one-woman stand-up?
Yes,
Dickens
well,
Women?
I don't like one-person shows usually, but I love mine. And I'm... and I'm going to India to do it, and the BBC have just released it on cassette, so you can go and buy it in the shops if you fancy.
In your formative years here, you did a lot of soft porn, didn't you? Are you... Is it going to be...
Who's been doing your research?
Well, there was Sexy Sonia, wasn't there?
Did you buy it? Was it you?
Of course.
I did many years ago, before I was mature, I did do a soft porn audio tape, not in vision, for reasons which we don't need to specify. And it sold very well, and I'm not ashamed of it, I'm just slightly embarrassed.
Is it still for sale? Not that I'm...
I believe that it's actually gone out of business, or, you know, it's sort of come, if you know what I mean. It's
Yeah.
been and done and had it. And
Yeah. And what do you think the difference...
It's not going to be a book at bedtime, is it? Let's face it.
Well, I don't know. I
Be a
don't know.
perfect book
I
at
don't know.
bedtime.
Are you kind of starstruck still?
Totally.
Are you?
I mean, you've got Brian Glover coming on, haven't you? And
Yeah.
I'm mad about him.
Well, we'll bring him on then.
Do it.
Just a minute then. The
How's that for an intro?
That was so...
Brilliant.
That made... Honestly, that made it so easy for
I
me.
know, I just
Oh,
handed
please,
it to
Miriam,
you on a
thank you.
plate.
Thank
like
you.
last night. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then to meet a man who's always perfect typecasting, from Kes to Campion to Alien 3, the voice behind a million tea bags. Brian Glover. Good. Now, are you inundated with Hollywood offers yourself since Alien 3? Since the last time I saw you, you were dragged up through a ceiling by a strange beast.
Not had enough for since. But the beast didn't get me up there, you know. I survived. I shall be in Alien 4. I beat the beast.
Did you?
Yep.
And I mean, is that northern accent of yours, do you think that's a problem for Americans in terms of casting?
When I do American films, I try and talk with what I call my telephone voice. I talk posh. I talk like that. I talk like Miriam Margolyes talks.
Oh, give over. Gosh.
Can you do an American accent?
Sure.
What do you mean, sure? That's not an American accent, Brian. That's
I
Brian
shall talk
Glover.
American for the rest of the show, okay, Terry?
Okay. Now, your latest movie, Liam the Pig Farmer, which has had a lot of very good press and a lot of good
It's a
critiques.
very, very good film, actually.
Yeah.
Hi.
I see Debbie Kaplan's engaged. Leon, I'm saying nothing. But you'll never meet the right girl if you don't look.
This is the most stupid game.
Brian,
What?
tell him he needs to find someone and settle down.
Do people really play this?
Brian?
You know what you always need, Liam? Your health. Good health you need.
And a wife?
Look, I have a girlfriend back in London.
Leon. Well, why didn't you say? She's not Jewish. I knew it, I knew it.
She is Jewish. She is. She's just not really a girlfriend. More a friend.
Who needs friends? You want a family. You want a home.
Do we have to talk about this?
No. It is a Jewish film. It's about this lad whose father's a net curtain salesman in Golders Green, who discovers he's a test tube baby, then finds out the test tubes are being mixed up, and determines to find his father, and it's me who's a Yorkshire pig farmer, which is not very kosher. But when I saw the film, what really...
Well, that's the
surprised
story
me-
out the way.
That's the story.
Now, that movie cost a ludicrously small amount of money to make.
£160,000.
Now, you probably got as much as that for doing Alien 3, didn't you, Brian?
Not quite as much as that.
Yeah, but how much did you get paid for this? Did you?
We got nothing. We were promised money, and then at the last minute, the money wasn't there, so they said, would you do it for a percentage? And you've all heard stories, I'm sure Miriam will confirm this.
That's true.
You know, about how Albert Finney made $1 million out of Tom Jones when he took a piece of the action, and Alec Guinness made a fortune out of the film because he took a piece of the action. So we all took a piece of the action. And if you all go and see it, I shall become a millionaire, which would be rather nice. But what is interesting, when anyone goes to see the film, I never say, did you enjoy the movie? I say, how many was in?
Yes.
But the only thing is creative accounting, you see, Brian. You won't get a penny out of it.
Mind you, Miriam, we can always fall back on the voiceovers.
You guys have made, the two of you, have made a great deal of money out of adverts, haven't you?
I have sat next to Miriam
How much have you
Margolyes. Not as much as one or two of, but we used to sit next to each other doing voiceovers. She's quite outrageous, as you already guess. And she does strange things to you under the counter as you're making them.
That's part of my salary, actually.
This is when we hear a high note, we know what the reason is, yeah.
Yes.
Well, I spoke to a mate of mine last night, and I was saying, yeah, I'm going to do Wogan tomorrow, and the woman who's on is the woman, she's the voice behind the Caramel Rabbit. And, you know, Cadbury's Caramel. And he said, oh, God, I'd like to meet her. She's got the sexiest voice in the world. And a lot of my mates really fancy the Caramel Rabbit, you know.
Let's have a look. Let's
They
have
do.
Okay, well, they do, yeah. And can you blame them?
Am I being a bit cartoonist about this? Or is
No,
it
I'm not. There are certain implications of bestiality there, but we
oh,
won't go
you've
into
gone too far again.
Now, look, Brian, let's have a... have you ever done any adverts?
I advertised a butcher's in Smethwick once. That was it.
We'll gloss over that one.
Yes.
We'll have a look at some of Brian's ads first.
Cheese are chosen from around the world, and every sip is blended to a T. It's brown bread you're getting, 'cause here's what I'm betting. You've not read the label, no doubt. Get this one instead. It's Allinson bread. The label says nout taken out.
I said you, he said me, I said you, I said I said no, I said what, I said no.
But, you know, the Tetley Tea Folk commercial, actually, Miriam and I have done that together because she played Sydney. They often use ladies for little boys' voices. I play the gaffer in these, in the commercials.
I can't
so
remember
she
the
played
voice.
Sydney.
I can't remember it. There's sometimes you have to do that, you know.
Yeah, and we'll have a look at some of yours now.
Have you got some of mine?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, Mr. Beaver. Why are you beavering around? Haven't you heard of Cadbury's Caramel?
Comment ça va? Avec mon copain. Ah oui, chérie, le premier thé anglais.
Which particular chimpanzee were you in there?
I don't know. I actually don't know which one I was. Do you know?
I think you possibly may well have been the French-speaking floozy.
Yeah, I get those kind of parts sometimes, but only in sound. Only in sound.
Yeah, it is funny that people have a... I mean, you sound about 6'3".
Really?
With your voice, don't you? You sound huge, 6'3", and you're more or less Cindy Crawford.
I know. When I was a very little girl, my cousin used to get phone calls from her boyfriends, you know, wanting to make appointments. And I would answer the telephone and I'd say, oh, hello, I'm afraid Philippa's not in. Can I take a message for you? And they say, oh, who are you? You sound great. I'd say, oh, I'm just a young friend of hers, her cousin. I'd say, oh, well, never mind if she's not in. Can I come round?
The thing about voices on commercials, you know, they often say that they actually have colours. So if you're advertising medical products, you want an antiseptic voice that's a pale blue voice, something clean and thing. And then if you're advertising, say, a perfume, well, Miriam would get that because she's got a purple voice. It's exotic and it's sexy.
What colour is your voice?
Brown.
You're a
brown.
brown.
Mine's basic, down to earth, a Yorkshireman, because you can trust Yorkshiremen.
What about Frank's voice? What colour would Frank's voice be?
Green.
Green.
What does green signify?
Because you're from Birmingham,
Yes,
it's
it's
British
sort of-
racing green.
It's very
because-
tortured, isn't it? It's, you know, it's...
And what colour voice have I got?
I don't know about
Well,
that.
if they wanted to sell
Dark
the Blarney
red.
Stone, I think they'd use you, Terry.
No, I would have thought I should be green.
But aren't
Yeah,
you
you should
going
be
into
green.
radio now?
I am in radio, yes. I'm up to me Oxford's in it, yeah.
Because that's where you started, isn't it, in
Yeah.
radio? And it's a wonderful medium, isn't it?
But, you know, if you can have a good laugh at 7 o'clock in the morning, there can't be too much wrong with what you do, you know. Thank you, folks. You'll stay, of course.
Oh, are we allowed to?
Oh, yes, please.
Oh, right,
Please.
okay.
Now, the talented Ross family, multifaceted. They have Jonathan and Paul and the Fish Fingers. And now their younger sister, a slip of a girl who's just left her pub band, the Supremes, to strike out on her own. A game girl. So let's give a big hand for this keen as mustard young hopeful. For tonight, singing Heart, Don't Change My Mind, Opportunity Knocks for Miss Diana Ross.
We said we'd try again, but trying's not enough. Acting like strangers ain't no way of making love. It's never gonna work. It's time we stop pretending. Time to turn the page. All stories need an ending. I finally found the strength. Look at me, I can finally say I'm leaving. I'm leaving. So I'm begging you, heart, don't change my mind. Oh, heart, be strong this time and try to help me tell him goodbye. It'll only bring pain for us to stay. Oh, heart, it's hard for you, I know. Let me let him go. Don't let me think about how good it was before. I know you tried everything to keep me from that door. It's hard to leave him when we've loved him for so long now. How can I walk away when you're still holding on now? I finally found the strength. Look at me, I can finally say it's over. It's over. So I'm begging you, heart, don't change my mind. Oh, heart, be strong this time and try to help me tell him goodbye. It'll only bring pain for us to stay. Oh, heart, it's hard for you, I know. Let me let him go. It makes no sense to stay. Sad that it has to end this way. It's over. It's over. Oh, heart, don't change my mind. Oh, heart, be strong this time and try to help me tell him goodbye. It'll only bring pain for us to stay. Oh, heart, it's hard for you, I know. Let me let him go. Heart, don't change my mind. Oh, heart, it's hard for you, I know. Let me let him go. Let me let him go.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Diana Ross. Now, my final guest started out with the RSC, but when they found out she was an American, they kicked her out into the cold, cold snow like little Nell. But she fought back. Taken to the stage as a comedian, she found fame with her flying gums. And recently, she's joined the legions of personalities who've had children and then go on about it in gruesome detail. She's with us tonight because we felt sorry for her, because she's normally on BBC2 and nobody's ever seen her. So welcome, probably for the first time for you, Ruby Wax. We were talking about the Jewish humour. You're not Jewish, are you?
I'm more agnostic in my own belief. But I don't think people have labels, you know, whether they're, you know, when you're truly brilliant, nobody says, oh, wasn't he an interesting black person or a Chicano? You know what I mean? Greatness is when you've transcended it. So they wouldn't even know you were Irish if you were that good.
Yeah. I think I've just been insulted. I was going to say, how significant in kind of your attitude to comedy and everything was your upbringing?
Well, of course, everything you are, there's a reason somebody becomes a comedian, because you have so much rage that you either become a serial killer or a stand-up comedian. It's one or the other, and sometimes both. But you cannot be a normal person and have to stand alone on a stage and face 2,000 people. There's a, you know, there's a punish me
But
syndrome.
do you call yourself a comedian? You're not. You're more than that, aren't you?
Or less.
Yeah.
You two are the kind of antithesis of each other. You're a British performer who's gone to America and had enormous success there, and you are an American who's come here and had your success here. Does it, I mean,
we both had to show our breasts to get where we are, didn't we, Miriam?
Well, that's showbiz, isn't it? I mean, Frank and I have had to do a few things we're not too proud about.
Well, I didn't have to show my breasts. I just did. You know. I
There's
mean, I
support
did that.
groups in LA now. You know how, like, they say, I had a bad experience with a dachshund. I'm a friend of an alcoholic who drove me into. There's support groups that go, I saw Miriam's breasts. I meet on Friday nights and they're deeply, and they all stand up and talk about their experience of seeing Miriam's breasts. They can't quite believe it.
How are you when you go back to America? And how do they accept you as a performer?
I haven't been to America yet. They send my shows there, so I get reports, but I personally, in the flesh, haven't arrived yet.
But you would have been a success in America
I
anyway.
wouldn't have
Yes,
been.
you would. Now, don't argue
Like
with
my
me.
mother.
You would.
Don't argue
Maggie,
with
got to
me.
be so tough with her. No, you would have
She's
been.
going to tell Diana Ross, eat, you should eat. Look at you like a stick. You're on that finger down the throat diet, woman, eat. How is she standing up? We ask ourselves. We think it's a prong.
You have a terrific knack, although not indigenous to the area. You have a knack of finding the British eccentric, haven't you? Well, what is that nose that you have for it?
It's not so much eccentric, you know. I was what they used in the old Hollywood days. I could spot stars. I'm sure I can, and it wasn't just Lana Turner. But sometimes you walk in a pub, and I will know who's got the good story. It's just, you know. And I always used to, as a child, I was being an only child. I was a voyeur, so I'd know who had the, you know, who had the corpse in the closet. So I'm very good at, you know, in the laundromat, I'll go, that one's really crazy. Let's get her, book her, you know. And they will tell me the story, and then I get them straight on the
Who's the
show.
most bizarre that you've ever
Oh,
had?
Robert Linkovitz, who was an artist I had on Hit and Run, who kept a corpse to remind him of his own mortality.
Was this in England or in America?
He's in England. He lives in Plymouth. He's a painter.
Oh, my God.
Bizarre, wild man.
Sweetheart, you want to be careful when you go out.
I will
Take
be
care of
stuck in a
yourself.
mattress.
I feel like your mother. Your
But at
mama
least
take
I'll
care
film
of
it.
you.
It'll be another series.
Is it true that you've got an amplifying microphone so you can sit in a restaurant and tape someone's
My
conversation?
husband gave me so I can listen into conversations.
So you eavesdrop all the time?
All the time.
What interests me about you is, are you really as tough as you seem?
Do I seem tough?
You do seem tough. You know, people say I am, and you know I'm a marshmallow. Are you a marshmallow too?
I'm much marshier.
You're softer than me.
Let us move on. Let us move on, if
agent.
possible, to something even more uplifting. A brief clip.
Attention, attention! Joanna Lumley is back. To all BBC producers, she's a size 8, she's had her eyes done, and she's feeling good. She's right here now waiting for offers. No part is too small. Attention, attention! She's very sorry for screwing up.
Joanna, quick, get up. There's Michael Winter. Get up. Come on, move. Mr. Winter, do you remember Joanna Lumley? She was a Bond girl a month ago, and she was the original Purdy in Purdy in the Avengers. Joanna, like we rehearsed. 2, 3, 4, cue. Go, Joanna, go!
The brave attempt to revive Joanna Lumley's career.
And your career, madam.
Yeah, you haven't done anything for my career.
I'm expanding your part every year.
None of that Joanna Lumley class has rubbed off on you? Now, come down. Why aren't you speaking with a
You
bit
just start at the bottom and then try to crawl your way out of this vat. We do the whole first show is devoted to Joanna's comeback because her husband left her. So I pulled her from the clinic.
Not for
No,
real.
no.
Okay.
No,
See, I
You
believe
take things too literally, don't you?
I believe you when you
take
get
every
on the
word
show.
this woman is saying. I
We
can
tried
see
to
it
get
in
you
your
on the
eyes.
show. Shelley Winters came on and said she wanted you on the show. I said, there isn't room.
Moving right along, my thanks to Frank, and to Miriam, and to Ruby, and to Brian, and Diana
At the
Ross
end of your show.
for the music.
Forever.
This is the last show in the present
Miriam, show your
series.
breasts.
In the present
Cute.
series, that's what we like.
Go with a bang. Show those breasts. Look. Come on, Miriam, go for it.
I dare.
We
Come
were
on, they
going to
can cut
run
it out.
right through the
Look, I'll go
summer.
like this.
Can I just show one?
One breast. Go on, Miriam, I'll go
Brave
like this.
talk.
Go on.
Brave talk. Anyway, we were going to run right through the summer, but they're filming Star Trek VI, and they want the set back. Been a rum old 6 months. Back in September, I remember my lady wife saying to me, the Queen paid taxes, she'd see Windsor Castle burn down before that ever happened. Been a lot of careless talk since then as well.
It's Friday night.
Hello, and welcome to Wogan.
But they like you, Terry, they do.
What did that say
They
about
used
me?
to like you earlier in the evening, though.
We must move right along.
You are professional,
Because,
you.
thank you, yes.
It was a very natural segue, too.
Thank you.
Nobody noticed that you were going right to your notes to read.
Because I jumped over enough cars and shot enough guns and did much things.
Have you had a nose job?
Would you like a nose job?
When I was kidnapped, the ransommoney was threatened.
And they wouldn't pay it.
I was there 27 years. Don't step on the tag.
So are you saying that I'm starting to calm down?
No, I didn't say that. I'm hoping
Because I don't know
you're
what
not.
makes you say that, because I can still go like this anytime I want.
It's Friday night.
You're going to die. You are going to die.
My insensitivity tells me you're wrong.
What about fatherhood?
Pardon?
Fatherhood.
We just met.
Yes. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. You can become friends
Terry,
quickly.
come on, dinner and a movie first, at least.
I was at the fight when you fought Mike Tyson.
So was I.
He was...
How much of it do you remember?
All of it. Every bit of it,
This
Terry.
was a ferocious fighter, and you ask him, you know, I mean, he's hit you very hard, and you say, Mike, how did you feel about the fight?
Well, I was very fortunate to...
You got pictures here?
Yeah, I threw some very important punches, and he upset me.
It's Friday.
And that's the height of it. I'll be back with more of the same or similar before you can blink. And of course, I'll see you on the radio on Monday. See you soon. Bye-bye.
hello to a great Saturday night on BBC One.
A sparkling Saturday night on BBC One. We start off with that show business. We have Kevin Day, we have Geoffrey Hughes, we have Eve Ferret, and we have Jonathan Morris. And then we've all got...
Noel's house party. And, hello, it looks like another face has been got by our Noel.
What a stitch-up!
You want to see it? You've got to come to the house party.
Yes!
I can't believe it.
At 7, number 5 was just your garden variety top secret nuclear weapon. And then, Short Circuit.
Number 5 alive.
And hello to the outside world. At 8:35, it's hello to the girls from Chigwell.
Hello. Hello.
At 9:25, it's hello to Canine Capers. And Esther investigates. And it wouldn't be Saturday night without Match of the Day. So say hello to an exciting evening on BBC One.